Hello everyone, this is Gaurang Somaya, your FX analyst. In this video, we'll be covering the monthly outlook on currencies and we'll see what happened in the month of January and what's going to be our outlook for the month of February on the currencies. Hello everyone and welcome to the monthly review on currencies. We've seen that the dollar rupee pair in the past couple of weeks has been trading in a range of 80, 50, 81 on the lower side, and on the higher side, 82 was capped. We had a few important events that were lined up. We had the union budget wherein the finance minister has made some announcement in terms of the fiscal budget, the borrowing plan, and also has increased its capital outlay expenditure. Importantly, we've seen that the fiscal deficit target has been revised down for FY24 to 5.9, and for the current fiscal year it's kept at 6.4.
So we've seen that the RBI have raised rates by 25 basis point, and in this statement it was more or less in line with estimates. The RBI has projected that the inflation for FY23 could be slightly on the lower side at around 6.5 compared to previous estimates of 6.7. And in terms of the GDP forecast, they expect the growth number to be around 7% in comparison to 6.8 as per previous estimates. So overall, more or less, the RBI was in line with estimates.
So we had seen a bit of volatility, but it was more of the global factors which influenced the rupee. We had the non-farm payrolls number that was released, and we saw the number coming in very, very high. Almost 500,000 jobs have been added in the US economy, and which led to some bit of rebound in the dollar index, and that started to weigh on the rupee. So we expect that in this month, it'll be more of those global factors which will continue to impact the rupee. And overall, we expect it to trade in the range of 81.50 and 83.50 with a slightly depreciation bias against the US dollar. So now talking about the global currencies, first starting with the dollar index. We've seen that the dollar index fell to almost a 9-month low. And as I mentioned, that post the payrolls data, wherein we've seen almost over 500,000 jobs being added in the US economy, we saw the dollar index starting to rebound. Most of the major crosses like the euro, pound, Japanese yen started to come under pressure, and we expect that in the very, very short term, for at least for the next couple of weeks, we expect the dollar index to trade with a positive bias. But we'll have to wait for a couple of numbers to come in terms of the core PC index number. We also will keep an eye on the retail sales number, which is going to be important and also influence the dollar index. So now talking about the other major crosses, we've seen that the euro USD pair was trading in a broader range, and we had the ECB policy statement that came in. We've seen the ECB raising rates by 50 basis point, and a similar rate hike is expected in the next meeting as well. But there will be a couple of numbers to watch out in this month in terms of the preliminary GDP and the CPI numbers, which will be important to watch out for. If the number comes in better than estimates, then we could see euro getting some bit of support at lower levels and also extending gains in the later part of the month. In case of the GBP USD pair, we had seen pound also gaining a bit because of the weakness in the dollar index. But similarly, we've seen that the BOE has announced a 50 basis rate hike. And for the UK economy, we'll be keeping an eye on the employment and the CPI numbers, which will be important to watch. And here as well, if we do see employment numbers picking up, we could see pound gaining a bit against the US dollar, and this again will be in the later part of the month. In case of the Japanese yen, we've seen that this currency has been one of the most volatile amongst the other major crosses. We've seen the BOJ also kind of changing their stance earlier this year. This again could be slightly important to watch out for, and we expect this volatility to continue as far as the USD JPY pair is concerned. Stay tuned for more updates on currencies and commodities. Thank you.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.